All right. Hello. It's me, Donna, her little genie. I hope everybody's doing good. I'm going to talk about something very personal to me. Basically, I'm going to tell my story. This is not easy. But I've joined a few support groups, and now I realize that there's just more mothers and fathers and grandparents who are dealing with this same pain as I am. And I keep seeing, like, I'm looking at my TV right now. She's talking about it, but from the other perspective. What it is parents and grandparents who are estranged from their adult children. Although some of them are not adults, because I also have an adult child who is estranged from some of his children who are not adults. So, and that's what happens. It trickles down through families. That's a lot of these grown children who have, basically throw away their parents. There's a good chance it's going to happen to them, because I've seen it happen already. Okay, if I seem hostile right now, it's because I am. Okay, I mean, this young girl on here talking about she was showing clips of even a professional talking about what parents go through, the feeling, how it hurts so much, and how just feelings that we have that are valid. And she's nitpicking at it like something I even have in my notes, what I was going to say, that, and a lot of the women say this, and it's men too, okay, but it's mostly women that I talk to, and I'm a woman, so I'm going to be referring mostly to that. But I know that men hurt over this too. But and I'm estranged from one of my adult children. I'm also estranged from some of my grandkids, who at one time I had a very, very close relationship with, and I can guarantee you that I've never done anything to them but be good to them. But at this point, they've heard the stories, that for the most part aren't true, or things that have been twisted. And if anybody would just meet up with me and as in my kids or my estranged, we call it ES. Estranged son is ES. Estranged daughter is ED. But if my ES would just meet up with me, and actually talk like I've begged him to, and like so many other people, I'm hearing the same thing. It's like our kids, they want to just throw us away, go no contact, but they don't want to give us a reason. And it's like, and that can drive a person crazy. It can drive you to be suicidal. I mean, and I decided, when I decided to do this, decided I'm going to be completely upfront and brutally honest. Partly just because that's who I am. You either take me or leave me, but at least what I'm saying is going to be the truth. But yes, I went through a period where I really seriously thought about, ending it all, because the pain is just too much. And the way I was being attacked by my ES and, my grandkids that I adored so much, it made me hate myself, questioned myself. It's like, and I know I wasn't perfect. I mean, I got pregnant when I was 17. I came from a dysfunctional family. I had an abusive father. I had a wonderful mother, but at the same time, she was very quiet. I don't know. I don't want to say anything at all bad about my mother because she was just so wonderful, but she wouldn't stand up to my dad and my father. I don't know. Anyway, that's not what this is about, though. It's not about my mom, because my mom, and that's just it. My mom wasn't perfect either. Nobody is. Good Lord, I wasn't like, okay, well, you wasn't the perfect mom, so you're out of my life, and don't try to call me, text me, nothing. I'm not going to tell you happy birthday, happy Mother's Day, and I'm just going to let you wonder what on earth you did that was so god-awful. And let you drive yourself crazy for years, wondering this. And yeah, there's things I can think of that I did wrong, and I have apologized for them. But like I said, for one thing, and I'm not making excuses too, but I had to learn, okay? Because I was young, and I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't raised up seeing what good parents, look like. And so it's like, and I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart, if I did anything that hurt any of my kids and my grandkids. But I can guarantee you I meant well. And I think all the good things I did definitely had to make up for the few things that I did that I might have hurt their feelings or what. Because, I can guarantee you there wasn't anything that bad that I've done that would make it okay for him to just, cut me off and not want anything to do with me and keep me from, so I didn't see my grandkids anymore. But anyway, I've got a list here. Some of the other ladies that are in the groups, I asked them some things that they would like me to bring up. I'm going to go over a few of them. This is going to definitely take more than one session because there's just so many things that these mothers have, including myself, have so many questions. And but what I was going to say though, on this lady I was watching her, I had finally turned it off. She's probably maybe in her 30s, somewhere around there. But the professional, I guess she's a counselor, she was playing her video, and then they would, she'd turn it off, and then she'd kind of make fun of it, tear it apart. And this lady was absolutely correct when she said that a lot of times this estranged parents they feel, okay, I'm just gonna say how you almost feel like your child is dead, okay? And that's what this lady said. And this girl, she took it and she twisted it all around, was like, what? Oh my God, she just said, your child's dead to her? My child would never be dead. No, that's not what she was saying. But when it's someone just, especially for, it's been several years that my ES has done this to me. He came back a couple years ago, just long enough for Thanksgiving dinner and then Christmas time, bought them all a bunch of presents, and then for some reason, I thought everything was great, and then cut me off again. But yeah, just imagine, your mom, your dad, your brother, sister, somebody's close to you, you think everything's just fine, perfect, no, but you're doing all right, and all of a sudden they're out of your life. They just cut you off. They refuse to talk to you. If they do talk to you, they say awful things, just put you down, everything about you just, they cut you, so deep that it's really hard to carry on. But so yeah, and so eventually, you keep Okay, I said I was going to talk about me. I begged and I begged through email, text message, messenger, everything. Apologize, begging, please just tell me, what did I do? Let's just talk about it. You know, I'm sorry for anything, you know, I'll make it, you know, blah, 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 you know, just, and came up with, I mean, different things that I could think of, because I've spent many hours racking my brain, you know, about, you know, some of the things that, you know, I wish I would have handled different, because God forbid, I'm human, you know, and I do have a temper, and I admit that. But, it just got me nowhere. I refused to discuss it and talk about it like, you know, an adult. Because by this time he was an adult, and he is an adult. But so finally you don't have any choice, but you just have to give up, because they start blocking you on things. And I mean, I've been attacked by him and some of my grandkids right on Facebook, public Facebook. And some of my friends who have, you know, known me for years and knew me when I was raising my kids, they knew that I didn't deserve that. And they would try to defend me. And, ooh, he'd snap right at them too and get nasty with them and my grandkids. You know, get nasty. It's like, who are these people? But anyway, but the point is that, yeah, eventually that's what it feels like, you know. And when we say it feels like they're dead, almost to us, we don't mean that that's how we feel in our, that they're dead to me. No, what it is the pain that you grieve. You grieve for your child who has just thrown you away, similar to what you grieve for someone who's died. And except for, usually I would think, and I pray to God I never know, but at least you don't have all the guilt. We have, like, we're grieving plus all the guilt. And like I said, it's cruel. And it's like we're being punished. It's just, I don't understand it. None of us do. It's like, why? And that leads me to this. First question was, why? This is what one of the other mothers said. Why won't, can't read my own writing. Why won't I'm just going to say EC for estranged children, even though most of them are adults. There are children. So, why won't they tell me what I did so bad to deserve this? And I actually, like I said, I've wondered that for years too. I've said that for years, and now I'm seeing all these other mothers that are asking the same thing, and it's heartbreaking. So, if you're going to do this to somebody, at least give them a reason, you know? I mean, honestly, it doesn't make sense. I mean, does it make sense to you? I mean, oh, I'm just going to catch, especially when it's somebody like your mother and your father or your father. Just give somebody a reason. And then the next, even if you was to give them a reason, which you really should, how about you, says, will they please at least sit down with us and have a conversation? So, yeah, give us that. We won't even, it's like we're not worth that. We're just, and you wouldn't believe the names that I've been called by my own child, my adult child. I mean, why do you want to make another human being, especially your parent, feel like that, to the place where they don't want to live anymore, you know, and they hate themselves? But, and like I said, I've been watching a lot of videos, and it's professional that these younger kids are making fun of, you know, who are trying to help people understand it. They also explained that not only, you know, we go through the same, you know, most of the same steps, you know, like of grieving, you know, when you lose someone through death, where you do that with this also. And your first thing is shock, which that's true. That's it. That's what I went through. I was just like, it's like I just couldn't believe it. It was like, is this a nightmare? You know what? Just make this end. Make this freaking end. It is just shocking because it's not normal. It's not what you expect to happen in your life when you have babies. At least I never dreamed that one day he would just be like, you know, you're worthless, you know, and I don't want nothing to do with you. But so yeah, but then you eventually you get past the shock of it, even though you still have the disbelief because it's just like it's not anything you can ever really accept or understand. But and then from you go from that to like the anger, which I think I must be in a couple different phases at the same time, because I'm in the anger. I kind of go back and forth. I go to where, I try just to not think about it. See, just like that. I don't know if you can see that. That's me. Saying I do that to myself because it's pictures that come up. If my TV's not on an actual channel, my pictures that are in like Google or the cloud, wherever they are, will show on my TV. And that's one of my grandsons that, of course he's older than that now, but he's still a young boy. And I used to have them all the time, you know, and then it's like the oldest granddaughter decided, well, actually she gave me a choice because she disowned my oldest and said that I either, choose my own child or choose her. And I wasn't going to do that. See, so not only do I have to live with this pain, but I also have to watch my child live with the pain of not having his baby. This past Christmas was heartbreaking. It had me wondering if he was gonna do something, because the pain really, it can be unbearable, and they refuse to talk to him. And a few of them, they're just little. Well, not so little now, but they're still young, so it's like he's missing out on so much. Anyway, let me refer to my notes so I'm not just babbling. I like to babble. Okay, so yeah, the grief, you go from the anger, yeah, and then the guilt, which the guilt is another thing that I live with. That's never going away. Even though, I have other kids and other grandkids that, love me and tell me that, they don't understand why the other ones have done this. But it's still, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anybody else says, because it's happening. And you tell yourself that, at least I tell myself, it's like, well, there's got to be some reason. I must have done something. I must be whoops, I dropped my phone. I must be a really bad person for my own child and my grandkids, to not want anything to do with me. And the bargaining, see, and again, that the bargaining where and I definitely went through that. I'm probably out of order of how you go through these different cycles, but yeah, like I said, though, I went through a period where for a long time, begging, for another chance, to talk, accept my apology, in which that's something else. It's like you're apologizing for something you don't even know what you're apologizing for. For basically, what it is, I'm apologizing for not being perfect. And guess what? He's not perfect either, and he's went through some of this with his kids too. And that's, people have mentioned that it's, your kids see you doing this to your mom. So what do you think you're doing to, you're teaching them how to treat you. And it's not that, and I don't, it hurt me when it happened to him. But I thought, well, maybe at least now he'll see what he's put me through, and he'll realize that he needs to stop. Because obviously he made mistakes too, you know? Because I don't know about anybody else, but I did not get a handbook about parenting when I gave birth. And yes, I know that I was in abusive relationships, and I should have not put my children through that. But I can't change it now. I mean, you know, I was a dumbass. That's all I can say. But I never let any of these men hurt my kids. Although I can't help but wonder if my dog wants her bone. I'm going to give it to you, but I'm not playing right now. That's why I had to put it up, okay? I threw it a million times earlier. It's over there. It's over there. Whiskey. It's over there. She's like, where is it? Where is it? Over there, silly. Over there. Oh, good grief. Oh, Lord. What was I saying? You know, if you've watched me before, you know I'm just, I'm always scatterbrained, but talking about something that's emotional, and it's really, oh my God, I wish you could tell me right now what I was just saying, because, anyway, dang it. So yeah, it's something that needs to be stopped. And actually, and it's basically, it's in the Bible, you know, that this would happen. I'm not good at putting words exactly how they are in the Bible, but anybody that knows the Bible, you know I'm talking about, you know, children will go against their parents and all that stuff. And yeah, it's happening big time. And chances are you know somebody, even probably more than one person, who is dealing with this. You might not even realize they are. Because I found out some people I didn't even realize were going through it were people that are friends of mine. But number 3 is, some feel as they have been replaced, by the in-laws of their ED or ES. This is why I didn't want to get it down, because I can't play right now. And I've kind of experienced some of that too, because I know the way I found out that my ES had got married, I saw it on Facebook. And it was at his new wife's parents' house. You know, it's like, that hurt, you know, because like, fun, you didn't even tell me, but you know, her family was, you know, in on everything and got to enjoy it, and it's like, it's just not right. But so I've got too many things running through my head, but I decided that, and I've been writing things down, taking notes, but because I start thinking about so many different things on this subject that it my head just gets clouded with all kinds of crap. That's why I wrote some things down here, though. Okay, so the next thing someone wanted to know is, why do you want to keep your children, away from grandparents who love them? And I wondered that one too, because you're supposed to want the best for your children, you know. I can see if they are abusive to the children, or even to you. Plus, I want to make it clear that I know that there are some parents that are abusive, and it is necessary to, get away from them. Matter of fact, I had to do that with my own father. But I can also tell you this, that even though I had a lot of bad feelings for him, and I still don't really know how I feel about him, but I was never cruel to him like so many of them are, and like mine have been to me. Like if he would call at Christmas, I would talk to him. Wasn't thrilled about it, but I would go on the phone and say Merry Christmas, and stuff. And, but I don't know. It's just, you think you would want your kids to have loving grandparents in their life. Because I used to spoil the crap out of my grandkids. And I can't help but wonder if, do they remember any of it? I mean, I would spend way more money than I should have for Christmas and birthdays, and just, because I just wanted to spoil the crap out of them, and I wanted them to know that Grandma loved them. And I don't know. It's just not right to keep. Even if you don't want to see us, then at least let your kids decide. Because I guarantee you, when his kids were younger, they loved me to pieces. They would have chosen to still see me. And now, recently I saw on Facebook, because I was Facebook friends with one of my granddaughters, and she's a teenager now. It was Thanksgiving. She made a post about, well, I'm thankful for the family who cares enough to be in my life, and blah blah, and but the ones who don't care to be a part of my life and have anything to do with me, I'm not thankful for them, and blah blah. And I knew she was talking about me, and so me being me, I had to say something. Oh boy. I got attacked. And then one of her sisters and one of her cousins ended up getting in on it. I had to end up blocking her, and I didn't want to do that, but I was getting too upset, and I just had to say, okay, bye-bye. Because she doesn't know the truth about what happened. Because I do know there was an incident when we all went to Disney World. And she was just little. I went with, their mom, who is now divorced from, and I rode with them in the car, and I was supposed to come the night before we were going to leave, and spend the night, and I was going to, because they live like 45 minutes away or whatever, but I end up, I have health issues, it's like, sorry, but I do, and my stomach was really giving me problems, so I thought, I just need to stay right here for tonight, and I'll go tomorrow. Because it's not like we're leaving real early in the morning. Okay, well, so I get there the next day, and, we still had plenty of time before they planned on leaving. But everybody was treating me like crap. And my son and my daughter-in-law at the time ended up telling me that, I know what they did. They sent me pictures of telling me how much I broke my granddaughter's heart because they thought I was going to spend the night. They had made balloons and written on them and just, did special stuff for me. And yeah, it made me feel like a piece of poo, okay, that I had hurt my granddaughters. But they were so mad about it that, well, for one thing, my ex-daughter-in-law's dad, while we were there packing the car, her dad came pulling up, and then I could tell he was pissed off. Apparently, they had ended up telling him that, I wasn't going and he could go. And it's like, wow. Just because I, didn't come, and I explained to them, look, I'm having some trouble here. And so then we drove from Indiana to Florida. I was talked to like crap, and just not by the kids. The kids were okay. That's what gets me, is that, sure, their feelings might have been hurt a little bit, but they were sweethearts. If all they had to have done was explain to them that Grandma's not feeling real good, but she'll be here tomorrow, and they would have been fine. Oh, but they made that trip absolutely just unbearable almost, Oh God. I think about it now. It's just, it was a nightmare. But that wasn't enough. We get to the, and I had given them some money towards my ticket and all that stuff. I wasn't going completely free, but they invited me partly because there was 3 girls, okay? And they wanted, help watching the girls because they're all still little. So we got to the hotel, and, they showed me my room and all that. And they basically I was ignored pretty much the whole time. My son, from fighting in Iraq a couple times and been in the Army, he's got some injuries. Not really injuries, but just some medical problems. So he's not disabled, but he has trouble walking, just like I do. If I walk too much, I'm in a lot of pain. And I'm a lot older than he is. So he had wasn't really a wheelchair, but like a chair that he could ride if he got to hurting. Do you know? And he a lot of the times he walked, but I was getting to the place where I was limping. I was having trouble walking. Not once did anybody say, well, hey, do you want to ride in this for a little while? Now his wife got to ride in and she didn't even have any health problems. So it's like, talk about just being mean, to your own mother. How would you? I could never. And then they were taking pictures. I was not included in any of the pictures. It was awful. I ended up crying at Disney World. And I love Disney World. I said I wasn't going to throw this, and I keep throwing it to her. But then they ended up going off and leaving me, which really could have been dangerous. There's a lot of strangers and a lot of people around Disney World, and like I said, I was to a point where I could hardly walk. And they took off, and I had to find my own way back to the the hotel. I'd take this shuttle. I couldn't believe they did that to me. But I'm the one that apparently has done something so bad. Anyway, I have lots of more stories like that. So I like to hear his stories. Let me hear his stories about all these awful things that I've done. Because, like I said, even though I know I wasn't perfect at all. And I know it was too strict, but I was a single mother, 3 kids, 2 of them sons who were, and both of them are, much taller than me. I thought, I gotta, while they're young, I gotta make sure they know that they gotta respect me. So I was probably a little too strict, but I just didn't put up with no crap. When we went out in public, I got a lot of compliments because they were very well mannered and minded. If that's bad, then I'm sorry. Not really, though. I'm not sorry, because both of them were kind of the same way with their kids, so. Anyway, let me see. What's the next one? Oh, all right. This is the last question for tonight. This one's actually mine, which I might already touched on it a little bit, but it's just like, how do they forget all the wonderful and good times and good things that we've done for them, and just concentrated on 1 or 2, since I don't know what they are. I can't say how many it is, but I just know it can't be that many. And but I know I've done a whole lot for them and their kids for years and years. So why not concentrate on the good stuff? And why not just, like, be mad at me, but work it out. Like I said, if I sexually, I don't think I can say it, if I, did something like that to them, or beat them, and I did believe in spankings, I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't beat them. I yelled. I was a yeller. But is that a reason to throw your mom away for good and keep her from your grandkids? I don't know. Or her grandkids. Anyway, this is just, I'm going to stop here because I get myself too worked up thinking about this and talking about it. But this is something that I'm probably going to do several of these about this situation, this subject. And she's just staring at me, wanting me to throw the bone. Give me that. See, this was in her Christmas stocking. I got her. And now she won't leave me alone with it. I'm glad she likes it, but gosh. Anyway, oh, and yeah, like I said, I have some other parents that are wanting to be heard, have their feelings heard. So I gotta decide how we're gonna do that. So anyway, if this is something that you're going through too, then if you're not in any of the support groups, you might want to look into that, because even though it's heartbreaking to see how many moms and dads are out there hurting, but at the same time, it's kind of reassuring to knowing that you're not alone, and because for the longest time I thought I was ashamed and embarrassed, because I thought it was just me, that I was such a bad person. That it's like, who else, would, kids would do this to them. So it is reassuring to know that it's not just me. Oh, whiskey. So yeah, and then, I was going to say something else. If you've made it this far, I appreciate you. Go ahead and, if you're not else ready to subscribe to me, go ahead and subscribe and hit that button or that bell so you'd be notified when I put up another video. If anybody has any questions, I'm an open book, so go ahead and in the comments ask me whatever. I'll give you an honest answer. Whiskey. She's down there. She's like in position with her paw up, like she's in the ready set position. It's like I can't not throw it when she's looking so cute and ready. It's just I can't throw it too far in my bedroom. Yeah, so anyway, if you're going through this, I apologize because I know how much it hurts. But if I didn't already mention it, that the big reason why I decided to do this, though, is because there's so many of the younger people that are getting on and talking about it, and they've just got it all wrong. Or even some of the therapists that I've heard talking are talking about how, like, they'll list that, you know, the main reasons why kids or adult children will, you know, go no contact with their parents, and all these reasons that they say, which, yes, and I know that these reasons do happen, but most of the people that I know of and that are on these sites, it's not the case with them. So why do they only concentrate on those reasons? And I don't know, it's just like the adult kids are just okay with just being downright cruel and heartless. And I don't understand that. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna let you go. Thanks for listening, and I'll try to do a happier video next time, but I will be back with more on this subject. Okay, bye.